Good day, everyone. So our lesson for today is all about the intercepts and zeros of rational functions. This is our week 3, module 9. And of course, don't forget this is your MAMSO.
Okay, so before I show you the process of getting the intercept and zeros of a rational function, let us first do this. I call this the connection because we are going to connect the given statement or phrase in column A with the answer in column B. To complete the statement, okay, in a column A, write the letter of your answer in a separate sheet of paper. So dito gagawin na natin sila ng magkasabay. So this is called connections. These are the givens. So the given for letter A is the intercept of the graph of a rational function. What do you call the intercept of the graph of a rational functions? So our answer here is letter, okay, sumobra. I'm sorry. Our answer here is letter I. Next, number 2. Find the x-intercept of a function. How are you going to find the x-intercept of a function? Okay, so we let y be equal to 0. Next is the zeros of the function is also called, it is also called the x-intercepts. Next, to find the y-intercept of a function, what we are going to do? We are going to let x be equal to 0. And last, the function of the form f of x is equal to g of x all over h of x, where g of x and the h of x are polynomial, is called a letter G, rational function.
Okay, so let us talk about the intercepts and the zeros of a rational function.
Let us first define the definition of the terms we are going to use in this lesson. So first, the intercepts. The intercept of the graph of a rational functions are the points of intersection of its graph and an axis. Next, the second term is y-intercept. The y-intercept of the graph of a rational function, r of x, if it exists, occurs at r of 0, provided that r of x is defined at x is equal to 0. To find the intercept, simply evaluate the functions at x is equal to 0. So, ang gagawin lang kapag kayo po ay hahanap ng y-intercept, set x be equal to 0. Next, the x-intercept. The x-intercept of the graph of a rational function, r of x, if it exists, occurs at the zeros of the numerator that are not zeros of the denominator. To find x-intercept, equate the function to 0. So kung dito sa y-intercept, you let x be equal to 0. Dito sa x-intercept, you let y or the f of x be equal to 0. And the fourth term is the zeros of a function. The zeros of a function are the values of x, which makes the function equal to 0. The numbered zeros are also x-intercept. Take note of that. Okay? The zeros of a function is also the x-intercept of the graph of the function. So I have here the graph, sample graph. This is the y-axis. And this is the x-axis. If you can see, kung nakikita po ninyo, may point doon sa y-axis. Yung point doon na nag-intersect sa y-axis, ang tawag doon ay y-intercept. So it is 0 and the number in the y-axis. And this one, yung point na yan, that is called the x-intercept. Okay? Yung number that this point lies, okay, it is where the point intersect or the graph intersect to this x-axis is a number here in the x-axis, and a partner of 0, which is 1. So, ito po yung dalawang yon. So, pag dumaan sa line ng y-axis, it is y-intercept. Pag dumaan sa line ng x-axis, it is x-intercept. And that x-intercept is also called the zeros of a function. Okay, let us have an examples. Find the x and y-intercept of the following rational function. So the first given is f of x is equal to 3 minus x all over x plus 1. The second given is f of x is equal to 3x all over x plus 3. And the third given is f of x is equal to x squared minus 3x plus 2 all over x squared minus 4. So first, let us solve for number 1, the first given. So ang sabi dito, to find the x-intercept of the given rational function, we are going to equate the function to 0. So yung f of x, dahil ang hinahanap natin ay x-intercept, and remember po, ang f of x is also equal to y, and we let y be equal to 0, or we let the f of x be equal to 0. So isa-set mo dito, let f of x equal to 0 para maliwanag tayo. Ngayon, dahil in-equate natin sa f of x na equal kay 0, so yung f of x doon ay magiging 0. Eto na siya. And then, remain lang yung ating given sa kanan. And then, after that, we cross-multiply 0 times x plus 2, ay x plus 1 rather. So, eto ay magiging 0. Eto po yon sa kanan, inilagay. And then, the rest is nasa kaliwa na. So, that is equal to, dahil ang naiwan na lang ay 3 minus x. Okay, so eto po yun 3 times x plus 1, ay 0 times x plus 1 is equal to 0. Eto po yun. Next is, dahil naiwan na to, no? So ang pinag-multiply natin ay etong dalawang yan. Next is, naiwan yung 3 minus x. Ayun po, nasa kaliwa na isinulat natin. Next is, we are going to apply the additive inverse or the addition property of equality. So kailangan kasi x na lang ang maiwan dyan sa kanan, ay sa kaliwa. Kaya kailangan matanggal natin si 3 dyan na kasama niya. So, anong gagawin? We are going to subtract or apply the additive property of equality or the additive inverse here. We are going to add negative 3 both sides. So, yan ang ginawa natin. 3 plus negative 3. Okay? Minus x. Ito po yung minus x is equal to 0 plus negative 3. Kung nag-add ka dito sa kaliwa, dapat mag-add ka rin dito sa kanan. Next is, makakancel natin kasi unlike sign sila. 3 minus 3, wala na siya. Okay? So, that is now equal, 0 kasi yon. So, magiging negative x is equal to 0 plus negative 3 is negative 3. Kailangan matanggal natin si negative yan. So, we are going to multiply negative 1 both sides. Ayan. So, magmumultiply ka ng negative 1. The result is negative 1 times negative x is equal to x. And negative 1 times negative 3 is equal to 3. So, therefore, your x is equal to 3 now. Yan ang ating x-intercept. Ngayon, or that is the value of x natin. Ngayon, ano ang x-intercept natin? So, di ba ang sabi, yung f of x is equal to y. So, therefore, si y ay equal kay 0. And kapag gumagawa tayo ng ordered pair, we have the x and y. Okay? We have this x and y. So, we are just going to replace the x and y with what we have get in solving the x-intercept. So, ang nakuha natin dyan is 3 para sa x. At yung y natin ay sinet natin as 0. Kasi yun ang rule pag kumukuha tayo ng x-intercept. So, yan na ngayon ang ating x-intercept. Eto. Okay, next. Paano naman yung y-intercept? So to get the y-intercept, we are going to substitute or to let x be equal to 0 naman. Kung dyan ay let y be equal to 0, dito ay let x be equal to 0. So if I am going to let x be equal to 0, therefore, yung ating f of x, okay, which is the y, yung ating f of x is now equal to, diba, ang given is 3 minus x. So, ayan ay magiging 3 minus 0 all over x plus 1 daw. E di 0 plus 1. Okay, simplify natin yan. 3 minus 0 is equal to 3. 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. 3 divided by 1 is equal to 3. So, ang y natin is 3. Ano ang x natin? Si x daw ay 0. Si y is 3. Okay? Ito yung dalawang yun na pagsasamahin natin sa ordered pair para makagawa tayo ng y-intercept. So, therefore, our y-intercept is x, which is 0, and 3, y, which is 3. This is now our y-intercept. Okay, do you have a question? Next, let us solve for number 2. So, sabi sa number 2, f of x is equal to 3x all over x plus 3. So, to find x-intercept, we simply equate the numerator to 0. So, yung numerator natin is 3x. Okay? And then, so that is equal. Bakit ma'am i-equate yung numerator sa 0? Eh kasi po, kung ililet f of x mo yan, okay, sige, gawin natin. If we are going to let f of x be equal to 0, ganun pa rin naman ang mangyayari katulad sa nasa number 1. F of x is equal to 0. Okay, edi magiging 0 na ito. Ito po yun. So, magiging 0 is equal to 3x. Okay, 3x all over x plus 3. Ayan. So, ganyan ang mangyayari sa kanya. O, pag minultiply natin 0 times x plus 3 is still 0. Kaya, we just equate the numerator equal to 0. Shortcut na yon. So, that is now equal to, 0 is equal to negative 3. I know, 3x lang pala. So, next is, kailangan x lang ang matira. So, we divide both sides by 3. So, dividing both sides by 3, okay, so ito yun eh. 3x is equal to 0. Okay, by dividing both sides by 3, nag-divide tayo ng 3, kakancel natin to. Ang natira ay x is equal to 0 over 3. Ito na po yun, 0 over 3. Now, 0 divided by 3 is equal to 0. So, ano ang x-intercept natin? Kung ang x natin ay 0 at ang y natin ay 0, so therefore, pag nilagay natin dito, no, lahat ng nakuha natin na value. Ang nakuha natin na value ay x is equal to 0 and our y is equal to 0. Saan ma'am galing yung y is equal to 0? Yung f of x na sinet natin. Ayun po sa taas. F of x is equal to 0. So, ilalagay na natin siya sa ordered pair for us to know the x-intercept. So, therefore, 0 and 0 is our point. Next is to find the y-intercept. So, paano nagkaroon ng ganito? We simply let x be equal to 0. So, i-remind mo lagi ang sarili mo, if I am going to get the y-intercept, I will let x be equal to 0. Okay. Yan, nag-overlap na tayo. Next is, so, magiging 0 lahat ng x. So, from here, Okay, kung yan yung given natin, magiging 3 times 0. Okay, ito na yon, 3 times 0. All over 0 plus 3. So, 3 times 0 is equal to 0. 0 plus 3 is equal to 3. So, therefore, 0 divided by 3 is still 0. So, again, your x is equal to 0. Yan yung nilet natin. And then, your y na nakuha natin for f of x is equal to 0, 2. Okay, so parehas lang yung ating sagot sa x-intercept at y-intercept. So therefore, our y-intercept is 0 and 0. Ayan. That is the answer for number 2. So kung ipapakita niyo yan sa graph, andito lang siya, oh. Andito lang mismo sa gitna. Diyan sila nag-intersect. Okay, next, number 3. For number 3, the given is x squared minus 3x plus 2 all over x squared minus 4. So, again, we equate, we let f of x be equal to 0. So, una yun, f of x is equal to 0. Pwede namang sabihin na y is equal to 0, then ganon. Next is, okay, so ang natira na lang ay yung nasa taas, which is x squared minus 3x plus 2. Then, inequate natin sa 0. And then, dahil yan ay quadratic, we factor it out. So, ang factor ng x squared, ito yung given x squared minus 3x plus 2. Okay? Plus 2. So, if factor mo yan, ito ang kinalabasan niya. X minus 2 times x minus 1 is equal to 0. And then, dahil dalawa yan, merong x minus 2 at saka merong x minus 1, so, i-separate natin. Kuhanin natin yung dalawang value ni x. So, ito yung una, x minus 2 is equal to 0, and then by zero product property, no? So, by additive inverse, we have x is equal to positive 2. And the other one is x minus 1 is equal to 0. And then, okay, so by additive inverse again, that is equal to x is equal to 1. Eh, kailangan mong i-test kasi ang balik ka doon sa iyong given. X squared minus 4 yung denominator mo, di ba? X squared minus 4. Kapag naghahanap ka ng x-intercept, kailangan yung x ay yung intercept na makukuha mo, yung value na x, ay hindi magiging dahilan para maging 0 ang denominator mo. Kapag ipinalit mo si 2, 2 times 2 minus 4, so that is 4 minus 4 equal to 0. Hindi pwedeng gamitin natin si 2 as our x-intercept. So, i-testing mo si 1. 1 times 1 is 1 minus 4, that is negative 3. So, pwede si x. Kasi hindi naman naging 0 yung denominator natin. So, therefore, ang ating x-intercept is just yung x natin, which is 1, at saka yung y natin na sinet kanina, 0. So, dito lang magtatama ang graph sa x-axis sa point na 1 and 0. Paano naman kukunin yung ating y-intercept? So, para makuha ang y-intercept, sabi ko nga kanina, you are going to set x be equal to 0. Ayan, isiset natin yung x equal to 0. And then, substitute nyo sa lahat ng makikita nyo na x doon sa equation. So, ito ay x. So, therefore, that is 0 squared minus 3 times 0 plus 2. So, ayun ang ginawa dito. All over x squared minus 4. So, magiging 0 squared is equal to 4. And then, to simplify, that is magiging 0 minus 0 plus 2. So, 2 na lang. All over 0 minus 4 is negative 4. Next, isi-simplify natin yan. Reduce to the lowest term. So, ang common factor nila is 2. So, divide 2, the numerator. 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1. Negative 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. Kaya meron tayong y or f of x is equal to negative 1 over 2. So, therefore, ano ang ating value ng ang x daw natin ay 0. Ang y daw natin is, or the f of x is equal to negative 1 half. Negative 1 half. So, what is our y-intercept? Our y-intercept is 0 and negative 1 half. So, kung ipapakita mo yan sa graph, okay? Kung ipapakita, sorry. Kung ipapakita mo yan sa graph, ganito ang itsura niya. Okay? Dito ako sa gitna. Okay, sample lang naman yan. So, this is our x-axis. This is our y-axis. Yung mga intercepts lang ang ipapakita ko ha. So, 1 and x-intercept. So, dito sa x-axis yan. 1 and 0. So, kung ito yung 1 mo, so therefore, ang point mo ay nandito. Your y-axis is 0 and negative 1 half. So, kung ito ay positive 1, this is negative 1, ano ang kalahati nito? Dito lang. So, therefore, andito yung 0 and negative 1 half. Okay, yan yung mga intercepts natin. Next is the zeros of the given A, B, C. Ano ang zeros ng given sa A, given sa B, and given sa C? So, unahin muna natin yung nasa A. Kapag hinahanap ang zeros class, kailangan sa denominator ka lang titingin. Okay? Kailangan sa numerator ka lang titingin. Okay? So, here in letter A, dahil ang ating numerator is x minus 2, okay, ito po yon. X minus 2, kinuha natin yon, in-equate sa 0, and then by, we are going to solve for x, by additive inverse, this will become x is equal to 2. So, therefore, ano ang zeros natin? I-test mo doon sa given. Ang given natin is x plus 6, diba? Makaka-apekto ba yung 2 kapag sinubstitute ko to sa 2 ng denominator? Hindi po. Kasi magiging 2 plus 6 lang is equal to 8. So, hindi naman magiging 0 ang denominator. So, therefore, our zeros is, or the zero of this equation is, ito na pala, nakasulat na. G of x is equal to 2. Example number 2. Our h of x, so small lang yan. I'm sorry, hindi ko nakita. H of x is equal to x minus 3 all over x squared minus 9. Hindi ka titingin lang doon sa numerator. Kasi, pwede pang isimplify yung x minus 3 all over x squared minus 9. Paano? Kuhanin mo yung factors netong x minus 9. Okay? So, kung may x minus 3 ka dyan, ano ang factors ni x minus 9? X squared minus 9. So, ang factors niya ay x minus 3 and x plus 3. Nabago ba? Hindi. Kasi kung gagamitan mo yan or ibabalik mo, kukunin mo yung product nila by FOIL method, gamit ang FOIL method, ganun pa rin naman ang magiging sagot niya. So, wala tayong binago. Finactor lang natin siya. Next is, i-cancel natin to. Wala nang natira sa numerator, so there is 1, automatic 1, all over x plus 3. Yan ngayon ang pagbabasingan mo sa pagkuha ng iyong zeros. So, paano, ma'am? I-equate mo tong 1 over x plus 3 to 0. So, eto na ang kinalabasan yan. 1 over x plus 3 is equal to 0. And then, we multiply, okay, x plus 3 times 0 by cross multiply. That is equal to 0. Ang naiwan ay 1. Asan ang x? Wala, diba? So, therefore, the given in number 2 is false statement. Mali yung statement dito sa letter B kasi wala tayong nakuha na value ni x. So, there is no 0 in the given function. Next, letter C na tayo. The given in letter C is x squared plus x minus 2 all over x squared minus 4. Again, hindi ka pwedeng dumiretso na titingin lang doon sa numerator. I-simplify mo muna iyan. So, kung kukuhanin ninyo ang factor ng x squared, dito tayo sa taas, x squared plus x minus 2, iyan po ay ayan, x plus 1 times x plus 2, ay x minus 2. Ayan, x minus 2. And then, ang factor ng ating denominator is x squared. So, x squared minus 4 yan. X plus 2 and x minus 2. Okay, so yan na. Makakancel na natin itong x minus 2 at saka x minus 2. So, ang naiwan ay x minus 2 ay x plus 1 all over. Tama ba? No. Ito pala ang makakancel. I'm sorry. Kasi magiging negative yung gitna natin, ano? Kung negative yan. So, mali yung cancel ko. Okay. Dapat yung x natin doon ay x plus 2. X minus 2 magiging x plus 2. Tapos yung ating 1 is, okay, x minus 1. Okay, yan dapat. Then, makakancel natin ay ito at saka ito. So, ang maiiwan dyan is x minus 1 all over x minus 2. Tapos, kuhanin natin yung numerator na. So, ilagay muna natin para mas makita, no? X minus 1 all over x minus 2. Yan. Ngayon, kukunin natin ang numerator, i-equate natin sa 0. That is x minus 1 is equal to 0. And then by additive inverse, that is equal to x is equal to 1. So our 0 for this function is g of x is equal to 1. Okay, so I think you're all set. So let us complete the table below by giving the intercept and zeros of a rational function. Note, write your answers in your notebook and then pass it afterwards, or if you have questions, contact Ma'am Sel. Okay, so that is your notebook. Let's take the activity. Okay, so yan po ang mga given in your activity. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out Ma'am Sel. Thank you. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you.